We think of a medieval knight as a master of one craft, the art of war. His world, we imagine, was one of swords, shields, and battlefields. But this is a dangerous simplification. To survive and thrive, a knight had to be a secret master of many hidden trades. In this video, we will count down the top 10 surprising and essential crafts that every true knight had to understand. From the art of identity to the science of survival, these are the forgotten skills that separated the living from the dead. Number 1, the art of the horse. Finally, the number 1 secret craft, the skill that truly defined a knight, was his relationship with his warhorse. This was far more than just riding. It was a deep craft of animal husbandry training and partnership. A knight had to understand equine health, how to care for his horse's hooves, and how to feed it for maximum strength and endurance. More importantly, he had to train his destrier for combat, teaching it to charge without fear, to lash out with its hooves, and to respond to subtle commands from his legs and weight alone. The bond between a knight and his horse was legendary. It was a partnership forged over years, a secret craft of communication between man and beast that created the single most powerful weapon of the age. Number 2, the armorer's knowledge. A knight did not forge his own armor, but he had to understand it as well as the man who made it. He needed the craftsman's eye to inspect for weaknesses, to diagnose a faulty rivet, or to direct a field repair. He had to know precisely how each piece fit together, how to maintain the complex system of straps and buckles, and how to clean it to prevent rust. This intimate technical knowledge of his own equipment was a life-or-death skill, a secret craft that separated the professional warrior from the amateur. Number 3, heraldry. In the chaos of a medieval battlefield, how did you tell friend from foe? The answer was the complex art and science of heraldry. A knight's coat of arms displayed on his shield and banner was not just decoration, it was his identity. It told the world his family name, his lineage, and his status. Knights had to be fluent in this visual language. They needed to recognize the crests of hundreds of other families, both allied and enemy, at a single glance. It was a craft of recognition strategy and bloodlines. Number 4, estate management. As we've discussed before, a knight was a CEO. The craft of managing his lands, or fief, was perhaps his most important non-military skill. He had to understand crop rotation, livestock breeding tax collection, and how to manage the peasant workforce. The success of his estate directly funded his entire life as a warrior. A knight who was a poor administrator would soon become a poor knight, unable to afford the tools of his primary trade. But the final 3 crafts on our list relate directly to a knight's core identity, who he was, what he fought with, and how he stayed alive. Number 5, music and poetry. The ideal knight was not just a brute. The code of chivalry demanded that he be a refined gentleman, a courtier. This meant he was expected to have some skill in the arts. A knight who could compose a poem for his lady, sing a song, or play an instrument like the lute was highly admired. This craft was essential for navigating the complex social world of the court and for participating in the game of courtly love. It was the soft power that complemented his martial prowess. Number 6, falconry. Hunting was essential, but falconry was a craft apart. It was the sport of kings and high nobility, a symbol of immense status. Training and handling these deadly birds of prey was a complex year-long process, requiring immense patience and skill. A knight who was a master falconer was not just a hunter. He was seen as a man of great discipline and prestige, a man who could command nature itself. It was a craft that demonstrated his high birth and refined character. Number 7, leatherworking. Steel gets all the glory, but leather was the silent craft that held a knight's world together. The straps that secured his armor, the saddle and reins for his warhorse, his sword scabbard, his belt, his boots, all were made of leather. A single broken strap on a piece of armor at the wrong moment could be a death sentence. Knights had to know how to maintain repair and diagnose weaknesses in their leather gear or trust a skilled craftsman with their life. Number 8, battlefield surgery. While noble knights had access to physicians on a chaotic battlefield, you were your own first responder. Every knight and squire needed a grim, practical knowledge of battlefield first aid. This included how to crudely bind a wound to stop bleeding, how to remove a broken arrow shaft, and how to splint a broken bone. This craft was not about healing, it was about surviving long enough to get proper medical attention, a brutal but life-saving skill. Number 9, cartography and navigation. In an age before GPS, navigating the world was a specialized craft. Knights were often tasked with traveling long distances, either for a campaign, a pilgrimage, or a diplomatic mission. They needed a working knowledge of the crude maps of the era, the ability to read the landscape, and a basic understanding of how to navigate by the sun and stars. Getting lost didn't just mean being late. It could mean marching your men into an ambush or running out of supplies in hostile territory. Number 10, the brewer's art. It may sound strange, but one of the most important crafts on any knight's estate was brewing. Water in the Middle Ages was often contaminated and unsafe to drink. Ale was not just a beverage. It was a primary source of calories, and most importantly, a safe form of hydration for everyone in the castle, including the knight himself. A knight needed to understand the brewing process, to manage his estate's resources, ensure a stable supply for his household and soldiers, and even use it as a form of payment or trade good. So, the medieval knight was far more than a simple soldier. He was a polymath, a man of many hidden crafts. He was a brewer, a navigator, a surgeon, a manager, an artist, a herald, an engineer, and a master horseman. His life was a complex tapestry of skills, where knowing how to manage a harvest could be just as important as knowing how to wield a sword. The romantic image of the warrior tells only a fraction of the story. The truth, as always, is far more complex and far more fascinating. This journey to uncover the forgotten skills of the past is our core mission. If you enjoyed this look into the secret crafts of the knight, show your support by hitting the like button. And if you want to ensure you don't miss our next deep dive into history, subscribe to The Knight's Journey and ring the notification bell. Because sometimes the most interesting secrets are not the ones hidden in a treasure chest, but the ones hidden in a craftsman's hands.